So a young man asked the question, why isn't Wakanda real? Yo everybody, welcome. This is your Coach Renz. I want to thank everybody for joining me. If you're finding me for the first time, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell notification so that you'll be able to get those notifications when we have live events. Now, for all you who want to participate in our drawing for a 10-pack of Uncle Ren's popcorn, go ahead and type in the comments hashtag Uncle Ren's popcorn. That puts you in the running in order to win. We'll be announcing the winner later on tonight as to who's going to win that 10-pack of Uncle Ren's popcorn. All right, so over the weekend, I had the pleasure of supporting one of my brothers, Jamar Milton, in his seminar series. And the thing about it is that a young man asked a question during the Q&A. He said, why isn't Wakanda real? Why isn't Wakanda real? Now, for those who've been following me, you know that we are working. We're doing the grassroots things right now to establish Wakanda in 3 different places. Here in America, Haiti, and my favorite, Botswana. Now, the thing about it is that as I was thinking about this young man's question, and Jamar did a great job of answering the question as far as economically, how we need to build Wakanda and how it's possible for that to happen right here, right now. So, what I want you guys to understand is how we can build Wakanda by economically, but also spiritually and mentally. One of the first things and one of the biggest hurdles for black people in America and black people around the world is spirituality. It's the disagreement over spirituality. And in reviewing the movie Black Panther, I have to tell you there's one thing that many of you may have missed. Many people may have not noticed. Now sure, M'Baku had a problem with the advancements of Wakanda and how they had advanced beyond the natural order. But one thing that you have to recognize that in the very beginning of the story, he talked about how 7 tribes came together. And those 7 tribes also had 7 different beliefs, 7 different god sets. Everybody know about Bast. They talk about Bast and the great goddess Bast, the jaguar, the panther goddess Bast coming to them. But you have to understand that if you are a follower of the comic book, and if you if you follow the movie, that Wakanda came together to build, the people of Wakanda came together to build, but respected each other's religious belief, respected each other's divinity, respected the godheads or the goddesses that they put as far as who they worship and who they draw energy and draw strength from. So real quick, I want to break down from the canon. Got bit by a mosquito, so sorry for the scratching. I want to break down the canon, as well as the comic book canon, the animated series canon, as well as in the movie, because there was a mentioning of a godhead that many people they didn't catch. It went past you. It went real quick. So I'm not gonna take too much of your time because I love you guys. I want to keep you quick, get you through this quickly. So what were some of the godheads? And then we're going to talk about a few other things. So some of the godheads in the canon, you see, in the beginning of the story of Wakanda, what you had was the spirits of the Dajalia came together, and the original immortal Orishas of Wakanda was Thoth. That's the Egyptian god of knowledge and wisdom. He's the one who wrote the Emerald Tablets, the one who built the pyramids and built Stonehenge and many other places around the world. So Thoth. Then you had Koku. Now some of you know Koku from the Japanese animation, where I think he's like a little fox, little deity fighting thing. I see my son playing it. But Koku actually comes from the Benin people, and he was a warrior under God, but very, very powerful, very fierce. Very fierce. You know, I mean, some of the rituals for Koku are they're not for the lighthearted. Then you had Mujaji, which is a South African from a Lobadu people, and it's multiple deities. It's two women, a mother and a daughter, and they're rain goddesses. And what's beautiful about the rain goddesses of the Mujaji is that they represent immortality. Because when you think about rain, rain is life-giving. Rain brings in, you know, the new flora and fauna. Rain is amazing because without rain, there is no life. Rain, without water, there is no life. So the Mujaji from South Africa. Then they had Pita. They went back to Egypt again, got Pita. Pita is the creator God, and he created with thought, and then that thought became the word, and that word became reality. That sounds familiar, right? That came from Pita, right? And now Pita also had a wife. One of Pita's wife is Sekhmet, but also Bast. Now you know they talked about the goddess Bast as far as the panther god, but the original Bast, even if you go further to modern time, call it Bastet, even the original Bast was Sekhmet, which was a lioness goddess, right? And a goddess of warfare and protection of the pharaoh. But Sekhmet also later on in the canon became Bast, which and then went from the lioness to the panther, and just overall in general cat goddess. Now there's another video that'll be going on today where it talked about something that's polymorphic. Now that's what happened with Sekhmet and Bast. They became polymorphic. They're the same, but then they changed into something else. They had a base, but then they changed. They became polymorphic. Kind of like a jaguar and a black panther. Black panther and a jaguar are the same cat. It's just one is black, still has spots. The other one is just a lighter color, and you can see the spots. So a panther actually is a jaguar, just in case you didn't know that. And then another goddess from the old canon is Naomi, which is from the Zambezi region, which is Zimbabwe and Zambia. And this was a river god. This is a river and snake god, and they brought provision. Now these were all gods in the original canon. Now of course, as the Copper Age of comic books, you had Storm. She was a Ororu. She's from Egypt. She became a goddess. She married T'Challa, but she became a goddess at the time because she controlled the weather. And she also became that goddess because she defeated in battle the Nigerian god from the Yoruba of Anansi, who was a spider god, but who was a god of wisdom and a god of trickery. And if you watch the show American Gods, then you've seen that. There's a very popular scene when he's on the slave ship with Anansi. And then in the movie, what many people missed was when M'Baku and T'Challa fought in the early parts of the movie, in the very beginning of the movie. When M'Baku turned to get ready for the fight, he said, give glory to Hanuman. Hanuman is a Hindu deity, a monkey god, but he's a god of strength. He's a god of innovation. He's a god who can change his form. He's a guy who they said was ugly on the outside but beautiful on the inside. He had dealings with his own birth. So when you look at the Wakanda, you see we talk about a nation that's together, people that has built together, people that are creating together. But what we fail to realize is that these people built and created because they did not force their religion on other people. They did not shy away from each other simply because they believed in a different concept of God. Now, when we look at the African American community around the world, we have different religious beliefs. No matter where you go, you're not going to go to any country that is inhabited by black people and find it where there is only one belief. Even though we're talking about Botswana and it's 79% Christian, that's 79%. That's not 100. That's not 100. And they still have African ancestry worship, their spirituality. They're still very tolerant of other religions. So all we need is to be tolerant of one another. We don't have to force our beliefs on each other. When you look at any nation, that's what you're going to find. And the way that we prosper is that we come into the unity of knowing that we have something special that we're going to build. We have something special that we have. When we look at Haiti, you got the Christians in Haiti, the Catholics in Haiti, who are forcing people to convert if they want to eat, forcing people to convert if they want to go to school, forcing people to convert if they want medicine. The voodoo people are finding themselves in abject poverty because of religious belief, and the people don't want to join in with them. So of course, after a while, you get tired of starving. After a while, you get tired of your children growing up without the opportunity. After a while, when you find yourself sick, you take your child to that hospital and you say what's necessary. You say what's necessary to get in. But what we want to build, you have to allow for health and wellness. You have to allow for food. You have to allow for provision. We have to allow for education to occur. We have to allow for ourselves to be able to do business with one another, regardless of what our religious beliefs are. regardless of what they are. If you look at the community right now, the Asian who owns the store in your community is more than likely not Christian. They're either Buddhist or Taoist. The Arab who owns the business in your community is more than likely Muslim. The Indian in your community is either Hindu or more than likely Buddhist. They're more than likely Hindu or Buddhist. But yet you continue to shop with them. So with our own, why is it that we have to say, you have to believe what I believe? In order for us to create that Wakanda, we have to be able to say that I respect what you believe. But our mission while we're here on this earth, the mission in order to make sure that our sons and daughters are growing up in a safe environment, to make sure our sons and daughters are growing up with the opportunity to get as educated as they desire, to make sure that our sons and daughters have the opportunity to become whatever it is they are truly supposed to become on this planet, whatever it is they're supposed to do, whatever their mission is, in order to ensure that our children have that opportunity, then what we have to do is recognize that we are different. We're going to be different, but our difference should not separate us, but our difference should make us greater. It should make us more cohesive. It should make us say that we have a big picture that we're trying to create, that we're going to create, that we are creating in Haiti, America, and Botswana. And in order for us to create that, then we have to be able to say, I can work with you, brother. I can work with you, sister. I can hold you down. I can be your foundation. I can be a shoulder for you to lean on. And you don't have to believe in the God version that I believe in order for me to be there for you to lean on. You don't have to believe in the same vision of God that I have in order for me to shop with you. You don't have to believe what I believe in order for us to educate our children correctly. We don't have to believe the exact same thing when it comes to spirituality, but there is a spirit inside of us that says that we are here to build a nation. And when we come here to build this nation, we are building a nation of people who identify with one another, not based on spirituality, but we identify with one another because we have children that we want to grow up in safety. We have communities that we want to build that have the amenities that life has to offer. We want to build a nation that allows for my son to walk down the street with a hoodie and not be harassed. We want to allow for people to be able to make laws that keep you safe from people being able to beat you, from people being able to burn a cross in your yard, from people being able to tell you where you can or cannot live, that you can live where you choose to live based on your ability to build your own personal finances, to build your community finances. We want schools that teach our children that their history is far greater than the slavery that they push on you, that our history is not filled with criminals and crooks, that our history is not filled with people who bow down, that our history is filled with people who achieved great things, who went on to be great people, that our children will have the ability to do the same, be the same, and grow into the same. That, my friends, is what we are wanting to create. That's what we must create. And in order for that Wakanda to happen, then we must let go of the idea that we can't work with one another unless we are all of the same. Unless we are all of the same. Other communities work with one another, regardless of their religious belief. Regardless of their religious belief. And we have to get there as well. In order for Wakanda to be Wakanda forever, now that everybody's done with their Cinco de Mayo, now that y'all not Mexican anymore, you can come over and be back Wakanda forever, then let's get back to being Wakanda forever. And in order for that to happen, we have to be able to work with one another regardless of that. Now, I want you guys to stay with me. Stay with me, because coming very soon, we're going to start building. And in order to build that, we have to build our finances. And I'm going to teach you how to build your finances. We have to build residual income. And I'm going to teach you how to build residual income that doesn't require or involve you joining a network marketing company. Let's go ahead and dispel that right now. All right, it's not anything of that sort. But building businesses that continue to provide you income and wealth wherever you are, and so that you can have it when we're in another place, so that it continues to build you when we're in another place. So I look forward to it, guys. Love you guys. Y'all have a great one. Remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. And hit that subscribe button and put hashtag Uncle Ren's popcorn, because it's the best popcorn that you've never tasted.